Mr. Chairman, you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go. Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order for the Parks Board meeting for Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. And we'll start out with the roll call.
Roger Mollendorf.
Here.
Mary Del Gunn. Here. Beth Graham. Here. Rod Fordle.
Here.
Sarah Thorson. Here. Ann Rude. Yes. Luke Russell.
Here.
We're all here. We've got
All
a quorum. We're ready to go. The next item on the agenda is citizens' comments on matters within the board's jurisdiction and not on the agenda. There's a 3-minute maximum for each speaker. What I would like to ask is that we also have citizens' comments at the end of the agenda tonight, too. We've got a really busy agenda to get through, some business we need to make sure we get done. I'd like to ask that we hold off on the citizen comments to the end of the agenda, allow us to get through and get this business done. Then we may have more time to spend with the citizen comments. So, is that agreeable with everybody? Okay, good. We'll move forward then. Okay, the first action is approval of the consent agenda and the minutes of the December 3rd, 2025 meeting.
Which were awesome.
Which were awesome.
Yeah,
So is that
good
a-
job, Beth.
is that a motion?
Thank you.
Really good.
Is that a motion, Mary Dell?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 The awesome minutes were approved, and they were
They were
awesome.
really good.
Next on the item, as per our bylaw state, the first meeting in January, we're supposed to elect officers for the board. So I'd like to move forward on
I
that. Go ahead.
would like to nominate Roger as the chairman.
I second.
Okay, do we have any other nominations for chairman? Sure.
You're doing a great job.
Oh, yeah, great. Seeing none, do we have a motion to close the nomination for chairman?
I so move.
Okay,
I second.
second. Let's have a vote. All those in favor of Roger Mollendorf as chairman of the Parks Board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Second on the list is the vice chair. Do we have a nomination for the vice chair?
I nominate Rod Fordle.
Okay. Do we have a second for that nomination?
I second.
Any other nominations?
Discussion unless Rod wants to be secretary.
No.
Are you the vice chair? I thought you were the secretary.
Oh,
She's currently the secretary.
Yeah,
But are you
I'm just saying, don't give him a position until he's been offered everything.
You know, I remember this exactly a year ago, we went to the same thing.
We did.
You don't want me as a
That's
secretary.
what she said.
Okay, so there was a second.
Okay, the second. Any other nominations for vice chair?
Who were the,
I nominated
Ann?
and Sarah.
Okay,
Second.
Sarah seconded. Okay, we have a motion to close nominations.
I so move.
Okay, second.
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor of Rod as the vice chair, say aye.
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 All those opposed? Seeing none, we'll move on.
Okay.
Now we have opened up nominations for secretary. Do we have a
Everyone's gonna want that one.
Of course you do.
Everyone is fighting for it.
Mr. Chair, that seems like a good pausing break. I do see that Betsy Scanlon has a hand raised. I don't know if it's a
Okay,
point of order or not. Betsy, did you have a question or a comment? So where we are in
Yes,
the
I
meeting?
actually just typed it in on the chat. I would ask that you follow and respect the agenda as you have published it to the public and not put off public comment to the end. We do have a 3-minute limit per person, but it has been traditional and it is in your official agenda to allow comments at the beginning so that we don't have to sit through a lot of things that may not be of interest, and we will have short comments for you to consider. Thank you.
okay. How does the board feel about that? Do you want to?
I'd go back,
I'll
fine.
go back.
Okay,
Good break on
Okay.
the election of officers.
There you
give
go.
everybody a chance to search their souls and see if they want to be secretary. Okay, all right. We will go ahead then and we will open it up with citizens' comments on matters within the board's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda. agenda. And, would like to state is that,
Are you done with officers?
no, we're gonna go back to
We
officers.
go back. We're at a good break
We're gonna
anyway,
go ahead,
Mayor.
we're gonna do a break and do citizens' comments. Then we'll come back,
Okay, because that
With
was.
election of
Okay,
officers.
sorry, thank you.
okay? Everybody understand that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move forward with, citizens' comments. Want you to kind of look at the public comments over on the wall here, be respectful, state your name, state where you reside, direct your comments to the dais, and, make your comments within 3 minutes. Now, I know we have a lot of people here that probably want to talk about the same subject, so what I would ask is that instead of being repetitive and repeating comments that have been made before, if you want to make a comment and you agree with that comment that was stated before, just please say that your name and state that you agree with the previous comment. So we don't have to rehash and we can save some time. Just,
Mr. Chairman, the only thing I would add is to have them come up to the mic so that
Good
it's
point.
picked up and the people that are online can hear it.
thank you, that's a good point. If you would also, when you make your comment, please come up to the front here, as the mayor said, so the microphone can pick up your comments. So, BR?
I have my hand raised when it's appropriate.
We'll get to you.
Thank you.
Right. I'm B.R. Walker with Yellowstone Wildlife Sanctuary, and I do live in the city of Red Lodge. Roger asked me to come and share a letter that I had sent to the Parks Board regarding Yellowstone Wildlife Sanctuary and a USDA visit. Rather than read all the pages to be considerate of time, just knowing that it'll be in the record will be adequate. I wanted to say that our USDA inspector came for a pop-up visit December 18th, and he came without us knowing and did some interviews around Coal Miners Park with people who use the park. He also observed our animals. He has been observing them for a number of years. He's very pleased with the quality of care, with the health of the animals, with what's going on. He's seen great improvement in the last few years. So he's interested in what happens at Coal Miners Park. So he wanted to be fair. He talked with people using the park. He asked them specific questions about observations they had on the effect of animals when they were recreating in the park. He concluded that daytime activities were not a problem for the animals, noises, activity, that some of them even found it enriching, which is great because we have to think about enrichment all the time. So he did have concern about lighting at night because our animals, we have nocturnal and diurnal animals who depend on the darkness for their rest. For some of them, it's their time to eat. It's their hunting time. We try to have as much natural behavior as possible. So having lights in the park after dark would be a concern for our animals, as well as noise, such as machinery running, which I'm thinking of snow machines and groomers and different things. They operate at a decibel level that does impact animals. And so there are some concerns. What the USDA inspector said is that if these things began to stress animals, if we added activities that stress the animals, we would be written up as Yellowstone Wildlife Sanctuary as non-compliant with the Animal Welfare Act, that our animals were stressed and had a problem. If we could not fix it from that point, we would be noted again with a non-compliance, and then USDA would be forced to call in enforcement, which means someone to remove the animals. Sorry. Woo! Didn't know that hit me like that. Sorry. As you know, most of our animals have some special story, and they're not ready to go to zoos or other places. Some of them would be euthanized because they could not find a home. With that, being a jolt from our inspector at USDA, we felt it necessary to let the park board know that for anything that develops in the park, we need to be consulted and talked with, and there need to be standards about noises and activities, especially evening activities. This was not a threat, it was a caution, and we felt we needed to communicate it to you as you're doing development in the park. So I will end by saying that our purpose is to create awareness of the special needs of our wildlife and the sanctuary. You know that we are on land that the city gave us. We've been a big part of the city. We feel like we're a great attraction for the city. So I want to read the board statement of position on development so that you know where we stand. We're not fighting. We're simply saying that we welcome 15,000 visitors.
Excuse me.
Time?
We're past our time.
If you want to leave a copy with that, I'll make sure that the whole thing gets in the record.
Yep,
Sure.
She's emailed it to us.
yeah,
Yeah.
we all have a copy
I
of it
don't,
too.
do we have the board position too?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll make sure that's included. We do have, everyone got a copy of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, BR.
Thank you, BR.
What I didn't to say is that the board doesn't block development. We want Red Lodge to succeed. Thank you.
All right, any other comments?
Thank you.
I have one.
If there's no comments in the chamber,
I
I do
have
have
one.
one.
I have one.
Yep,
Can you
Becky?
hear me? Can you hear me?
yep, we
Yeah.
can hear you and see it.
Okay, and am I on, Roger?
You are on.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you do have this 3-minute limit. I'm not going to repeat what I have before, and I do appreciate that you're listening. I am talking about Lions Park. And here's the 5 points I would like to make tonight that I haven't made before. I would like the Parks Board to realize the value and the role of parks in the city. It's primarily for residents. It's a public park, and we are the public. And even though visitors are welcome, we are there year-round, and we are not secondary. We are primary. Please don't prioritize tourists or commercialize our parks by making economic value of them secondary to the primary use. That's my first point. I also want to point out that I have concerns about environment, the use of fuel to do what was proposed, the emissions involved, the sound and the light. Those are all impacts, not just on the neighborhood, but on the whole town, and are included in the operation and maintenance costs that have not been addressed. And I think those need to be publicized before any further action is done. The ice is going to be covered with snow, and shoveling is going to be necessary. And then we're going to be talking about a full-time building over it. So I want that to be in mind. I also want to recognize we're only trying to fool Mother Nature when it's 64 degrees in December, and we barely had the first day of skating early in January. So I would like, again, to ask you to consider the alternatives to the proposal of a concrete ice skating rink at Lions Park. There are different locations possible, alternative cooling systems, and actually an alternative project that can improve other areas of our park system. The museum or the nature center all could use $800,000 that is proposed for the Lions Club concrete. So that's my final request, and I appreciate all the roles you guys play in protecting our parks, in particular Lions Park, for public purposes. Other ones that want to use it, like the Arts Guild, could conceivably close off Oak Street for their 2 events a year. 2 events a year. It doesn't warrant cementing over that part of Lions Park. Same thing with Farmers Market. 15 weekends does not warrant the other of the 52 weekends in the year. So please give full consideration for turning down this ice skating proposal. Looking forward to more comments as it goes forward. Thank you all so much for listening. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, Betsy.
Hey, pretty good.
We have a new record.
Wow.
Mr. Chair, I do not
Impressive.
see any other hands or unmuted mics online.
Okay, any comments from the room? Becky?
Good evening. Rebecca Van Horn, private citizen. To the Red Lodge Parks, Trees, and Recreation Board, I would like to speak on the matter regarding the proposed changes to public city parks and the relationship to the City of Red Lodge Energy Conservation Plan, which specifically states the target goal for 50% reduction of emissions by 2040. I've included references.
Okay.
The energy conservation strategies laid forth in this plan specifically identifies impermeable urban surfaces reduction and future surface design, as well as landscaping and water management systems as some areas where the City of Red Lodge can help to offset their carbon emissions, most of which comes from municipal facilities. So you can see that here as well, about different ways that you can combat it. Under the codes and land use overview, the report states that land use policies can also be used to encourage the development of green spaces, including vegetation, soils, and other elements and practices to restore some of the natural processes required to maintain water and create healthier urban environments. These spaces provide habitat, flood protection, cleaner air and water, and these green spaces increase surrounding property values and make cities more welcoming and attractive. The document states the goal of our codes and land use strategies is to formally protect our green spaces and more consciously develop Red Lodge in an environmentally sustainable way. Page 47 for reference there. The plan also states that the city should take steps to create and maintain our green space, as well as preserve open space through conservation easements. In fact, conservation easements are specifically identified in all three phases of the land use and management portion of the Energy Conservation Plan. In the impermeable urban surface reduction and future surface or resurface design segment of the plan, it identifies the need for creative resurfacing designs and for revisions to include permeable surface requirements. A recent study done on the water quality of Rock Creek show that we are already at alarming levels of pollution. How will these proposals to city parks help? I would encourage the Red Lodge Parks, Trees, and Recreation Board to consider both the City of Red Lodge Energy Conservation Plan and the Red Lodge Growth Policy and our growing impact on the environment. The Red Lodge Growth Policy, in which the word historic is used over 50 times, see pages 13, 34, 35, 40, 48, and 49 for reference, specifically state the importance of expanding the historic overlays, a decision made in the past to maintain the historic nature of our community. Under the codes and land use overview, the report states land use policies can also be used to encourage the development of green spaces, including vegetation. Oh, I read that already, sorry. Please ask the questions about the proposed project to our city parks. How much will they cost the taxpayers? How will these proposed projects affect the goal to reduce emissions? Is putting more energy and monetary resources into facilities with no climate controls the long-term solution to problems they are currently facing? Or is it just a costly Band-Aid out of step with the clear and thought-out plans the City of Red Lodge themselves have commissioned? What purpose does it serve to pay for these plans and reports if they are not considered? Across the state of Montana, and even right here in Carbon County, where at least 3 different public parks have come under threat of development, it is up to us to protect them. It is up to us to use our voices to say that we don't want to be Bozeman, Billings, or Missoula.
Becky?
We don't want a city made of concrete. We want Red Lodge to be Red Lodge.
Can you leave that with us?
Absolutely. Yeah, let me get it organized again.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Becky.
Thanks, Becky.
Thank you.
Becky, if you have comments that are longer and you want to include them, I can make sure they're all included.
Okay.
Any other comments from the public? Any online?
I see nothing online, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any more comments? Going once, going twice, 3 times? All right, thank you. We'll move on. Okay, let's go back to our action item in election of officers. We've had a time for somebody to
Reconsider.
reconsider and search their soul and decide that the thing they'd really like to do is be secretary of the Parks Board.
I
So,
nominate,
that being said, do we have a nomination for
I do,
secretary?
I would like to nominate Beth Graham.
You can't even look at me, can you?
Well,
Can we nominate
I didn't
AI?
hear, somebody's not using their outside voices.
Oh, I would like to nominate Sarah Thorson.
I would like to nominate AI.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's legit.
Yeah, I agree.
What was her name?
we have 3 nominations. Any other nominations
Have any of them been seconded,
at this point? The first nomination
I
was
make a
for Beth
motion to
Graham.
table the secretary position.
I second.
will accept if somebody seconds.
Second.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Lindsay.
Second my nomination.
Okay, so we have,
Second.
I second.
Don't forget those good minutes you just reported.
Yeah, no, I know. That's a good example.
okay, we
I
have
was
a
gonna nominate
nomination
the
and
only
a
left-handed
second.
person at the
We have no
table.
other
that?
seconds for other
Oh.
nominations. So, do we have a motion to close the nominations?
I so moved.
Okay,
Second.
okay, all those in favor of Sarah,
Aye.
otherwise known as AI?
All right, Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah,
help
you're
you.
a secretary,
Okay.
thank you.
Sarah.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Next month.
Beth, thank
Yep.
you, in with you.
And you're gonna work with her a little
Of
bit.
course.
Beth will train you.
Okay.
All right, very good, thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yep.
Thank you,
All
Sarah.
right, let's move on to the Red Lodge Disc Golf Draft MOU. Is Melissa here?
Yes.
We're here.
Oh, there you are.
Sure, their
Back.
hair all
Okay, would you like
hidden.
to come forward?
Sure.
And Luke, would you like to maybe start the discussion off on this? You were working with Melissa.
Sure. Yeah, so, Beth and I, actually, you weren't on that call.
Nope.
No, that's right. Anime. So first, Beth and I met, and we've had a MOU proposal, a draft one from the DISC folks, and it was really pretty good. We just had a couple sticking items, and Ann and I met over the phone with the DISC folks, which included Melissa, who's done a lot of the bulk of the work on this from their end. And we feel like we have a pretty good quorum in the MOU that's going to be proposed tonight, and a new map. And I'll let you talk to that. The only thing we have from our perspective, unless someone has some last minute things they've looked at, is we need to have the lawyer look at it, really. So that being said, that's kind of where we're at. Melissa?
Which always happens.
Yeah.
Not, that's
Yep,
out of our
pretty
control.
normal.
Yeah.
We understood that the next step from here was your guys' blessing, lawyer blessing, planning or land use blessing.
City council.
There's got to be more in there, yeah.
Blessing.
I
And
think
then
if you guys have it and are
forward.
ready for it, what we do is we'll put it on for the council discussion part, because the attorney
Yeah.
can look at it in that way, and our time frame is such that if you guys want to bless it, it'll be on the standing committee meeting and below the fold, meaning not action,
Okay,
but we could do that at the next meeting.
And the
if it's ready
city
for
attorney will look at through that process.
that. Pardon?
The city attorney will review it
Correct.
during that process.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I so moved.
We'll cut through the bureaucracy there a
So,
little bit.
yeah, and I would just like to add that, some of the discussion that we weren't ready to have with you, because Luke was gone and wanted to have just discussion about, and you guys graciously removed efforts down on the backside, because we still, I mean, everybody in here agrees, and including you guys, we just don't know how to protect that slope on the riverside. And from my dealings at Colmeyers Park for over a dozen years, the coal up there is safe for people, it's safe for a lot of things, but it's not great for fish. And so if it gets eroded down into the side towards the creek, that's an issue that we have to prevent. And so thank you for agreeing to limit that for now.
thank you for agreeing to just let us investigate another 3 holes.
Yep.
To keep us out of conflict with other user groups when the time comes. And it may not be down there, maybe there's someplace else that we can
Yeah.
flip into.
Makes sense.
We're good.
Yep, I think we're good.
Any other comments from the board?
I think Mary Dell made a
Melissa, you don't have anything else?
Mary
motion.
Jo,
You guys are good at that?
Made a
No,
motion.
perfectly happy.
Amend
Okay.
moves forward to the city council.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Great.
Way to go. Yay.
Thanks, guys.
So
Yep.
I understand that's, we're putting that on the below the fold and standing committees, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, so the one thing I had a comment about, and I emailed Tom, and then I was like, whoops, I saw, so there are gonna be changes to the parking lot, and so I would wait to work with Mike Maples on that.
Yep.
Okay.
And just one final comment, I want to thank Melissa and Tom and Ann and Luke and Beth for
Yeah.
working on the MOU. I know that's not the easiest thing in the world to do, so thank you very
Mr.
much.
Chairman, who's gonna get that to me tomorrow so that it can make it into the packet for next week?
I can send you the MOU at the end of this meeting.
And add Tom's updated diagram
Okay,
from tonight,
sure.
or this afternoon, yeah.
Sure. Yep. Okay,
So when you send it to me, you'll include him, and that way he can say if something's missing.
So here's a hard copy of it though, if you want,
I'll-
just in case.
I'll take it, but yeah.
I'll just, Tom, Dave, I'll just forward the email I got.
And does it have both of this?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
I was funny in writing it.
they might come in two pieces.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Somebody
have
have
the technology.
No,
Okay.
we're not being very nice.
You're not being very nice.
We're being a rebel.
We're,
All right.
we're talking emissions.
We're gonna move forward with the update, or the request from the Red Lodge Youth Soccer for a storage shed at Shelley's Field. And we have somebody there. Here.
Susie Milligan,
Susie
with
Miller.
a sweatshirt on.
Yes, I'm proudly wearing my Red Lodge soccer.
Looking good.
Nice to see you all, thanks for having
Hello.
us. And also, I wanted to say thank you, because we've gotten so many compliments on the soccer field from parents and, fans and the kids themselves. So we're really excited about being up on Shelley's Field, so thank you. I am here to, actually propose the idea for a small shed up by the fields on the south side. We've been having conversations with disc golf and tennis, and I know Luke was part of the conversation with the
Pump track.
pump track, thank you. And I've also been talking with Mike Maples, and we've had a conversation as well. I don't have a formal proposal tonight because I want to invite feedback, but what we've discovered is that if we have a small shed that would help store our smaller equipment, balls, cones, like Crazy Creeks for games, that sort of thing, it really will help our coaches not to have to climb the fields 2-3 times a week with the rags and all their gear and all this stuff. And the size of the shed that we are comfortable with starting off is a 10 by 12, which is a 120 square foot shed, and it can easily be mobile, right? We can move it if we need to. When disc golf is in, when we need to shift things around, when Mike Maples needs to do something different, we can easily move the shed. And we are looking at raising money for it. I understand the size is within, how do we describe it, commercial.
I can speak to it when she's done with that.
But really, we want to keep it simple, and it's really just to benefit our volunteer coaches that do a lot of work, that spend a lot of time up there, and just to give them a little bit more ease. So I invite you to ask questions, help poke holes in our.
So it's my understanding that something over 200 square feet had to be on a permanent slab, and that would require going through a permitting process.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yep.
So there's a couple of different things. Interestingly enough, the language, and it comes from the IBC building stuff, which is part of what confused it. And the thing, when I dug into it and kind of some follow-up that Susie had with Mike, is they talk about personal and commercial, which I think is confusing and problematic. What it really is personal use and not personal use. So if it's for personal use, AKA you're going to put a shed in your backyard and you're going to store your barbecue equipment or whatever else in it, you are allowed to have up to 200 square feet, and that can be a temporary building, meaning it doesn't have to be anchored to the ground. The logic behind that is the liability is you and your personal and friends or you invite over. as soon as it is not personal use, so it's not so much that it's commercial, it's not personal use. And so when you look at that, then a shed in a park qualifies as it's not personal use.
Right.
Then that limit is 120 square feet. It's actually a smaller square footage. So there's a couple of factors that came into play with this storage shed. One of them is temporary versus non-temporary. I've addressed that. The other one is the process that we've been working on, knowing we have all sorts of these conversations, everything from ICE to tennis to observatories and everything else. And we've talked about the process. My understanding at this point, and I've had a chat with the standing committee chair on that, and then I've had the benefit of being in a lot of those meetings. My recollection is, at this point, what's going to trigger needing council approval per se is if it's a permanent if it's a permanent fixture. So my understanding is if it's a temporary fixture, so going back to the 120, not only is it IPC compliant, that even though that's not done, it looks like if it's temporary, that just requires the approval of the Public Works Director. And I guess what I wanted to do is just do a quick straw man and understanding of, is my recollection of what this group's discussion was in line with where council was going, that if they go to something that is a portable unit, is that something that we're comfortable saying that Public Works Director, you figure out where to put it and how to make it work?
Yeah.
I just wanted to validate.
I think that's a fair statement.
Okay.
Yep.
So with that, I think as long as they're working within that 120 square foot, I think then reach out and coordinate that with Mike. I think it would be beneficial if the group wants to, say, yes, you have our blessing and we're good with that. And even more beneficial, I understand you were going to ask possibility about, hey, parks money and parks projects, do you have anything you can throw to help toward this process?
Yeah.
And you could ask them that too. That's their job to make that recommendation to council or to Mike.
Right. If the Parks Board has available funds that might want to support our shed, that would be wonderful. We plan on raising funds. It's a lot of work, and we are also trying to raise funds for scholarships for kids. Prices are going up this year across the board, and so
What's the estimate on your shed?
Yeah, what's the cost estimate?
we're going to try to keep it simple.
We don't know yet.
We've seen prices between like the 6,000 to 10,000 range, but at this size, we haven't priced it out. Our previous cost estimate was higher, but we're willing to go smaller just to keep it simple. So, if there is available budget, great, we can get a formal proposal, and then if you wanted to help contribute, wonderful. If not, we will.
So I have two comments. One is I would talk to the high school and ask the building trades group if there's in your building size, if that's something that their group, they have mentioned that before to us, if the time frame works. I don't know, but obviously you'd want to do that right away, and they'd say, oh, actually we do. We have 3 young students that want to build something. And then my only comment as one of the ambassadors of coal miners is that one of the reasons we kept Shelley's Field sign so low, like not prominent and low scale and everything, is that the views up there are amazing. And I would ask that you talk to Mike about location, and I think that Luke and I would love to go out there and talk with you and he about that, because if it got, obviously, just
right, we don't want to make it look
to
ugly.
blend in and be against that berm somehow or down in that area, so it's not blocking that gorgeous view from up there.
That's the idea. In fact, this is a terrible printout, black and white, but yes, along the berm in the back.
Okay.
So this is the soccer field. There's a slight little shed, my little Canva action there.
South end of that berm.
That's right, yeah, so that it isn't obstructing the view and that it blends in. It won't be, color-wise, we can keep within like an earth tone palette so that it's not standing out. But it would be good to know also if you have any restrictions on, let's say we had sponsor signs on the shed at all for raising money, getting sponsors for so if you have restrictions, that would be great to know. We can do things like one-tone color logos or,
You would want to
keeping
reach
them
out
as a
to the
minimum.
building department on that, because we do have sign rules,
Okay,
and so, sign permits and stuff there, so.
okay. And can I work with Mike on figuring it out?
That would be Brian, Hannah
Okay,
at the city, but Mike can help point you to them too. But I think it's also a fair discussion and,
Yeah.
and maybe something to add to that whole conversation that we're talking about. Because one of the things I heard is like, we want to go talk to you and kind of help encourage you to put it someplace that's that's gonna be the least impactful to views. I said, that process isn't defined yet. So this is one of those opportunities to say, ooh, do we want to add more bureaucracy, or do we want to, you know, are we still good with that point, and maybe what we do is just input?
Well, I don't think Luke and I getting involved adds any bureaucracy, because we can do it out of a meeting. I mean, I personally would make a motion that Mike Maples can handle this, if that's what we're asking for, and work with you, that, you know, it's with the intent that you meet all their requirements, and that, the ambassadors to the park could informally go out there and discuss it.
How does, an alternative to having signs for sponsors and maybe having a plaque?
A little bit.
you know,
Signage.
A plaque that
A plaque
has
is
the
enough.
sponsors' names on it.
Just
It could be maybe a fixture.
Preservation of view,
The
I think.
building.
okay.
So, did you make a motion, Ms. Beth?
Can we hold on that?
Okay.
Yeah,
Discussion.
yeah, I think we see more discussion on this. I know we're just getting started on this. Why the southwest corner?
We felt like if it tucked back into the berm, it wouldn't hinder views. It's easy access for our coaches,
Yeah.
move in and out. If you have a better suggestion.
I mean, I would say just like riding bikes at the pump track or throwing disc from like hole 4.
Right.
You're looking at the Beartooth, you're looking directly over that southwest corner of the soccer field. And as you go farther to the east, now you start to get the big behemoth of the high school in the view. So that view's already diminished. So I would argue that more south center, or even better southeast, for view preservation, just from the hip, is gonna be more ideal. I mean, I'm happy to be told like whatever, but I
Yeah.
just know from being up there that that's,
I'm not opposed. Only two things that came up were, one, in our disc golf conversation, John Fitzgerald was there. We need to have a certain amount away from the shot put.
Right.
And so we get
yeah,
closer.
that's in the southeast corner.
And the only concern for us with having, so let's see if I can, if our shed is directly behind the goal, for example, we want to make sure the view for players isn't
Yeah.
in any way altered, right? So that it's just a clear shot.
Right.
So I'm happy to finagle, like
I think there's even some space on the direct east-southeast side where there's like the down trail for the bike park goes, and there's already benches and some brambly trees.
But that's not really convenient for the
I know,
coaches.
Right.
I
Can we
think
make
it's
a
workable
motion
that we bless that, but with the conversation with you guys and Mike Maples to decide on a good location?
That sounds
Or
great.
Yeah.
is this a
That's
discussion
perfect.
that could impact whether or not we even say yes to it? I'm for it as long as the location is great, so I would second Beth's motion.
Agreed.
If
Yeah.
that
What
is
was
a
your-
good
Yeah.
what was
reason.
your motion, Beth?
Well, I think I have to amend it.
Oh, no.
What
I
is-
make a motion that, we're good with the layout as long as it meets
With Mike taking.
codes, and Mike Maples works with you, and the ambassadors to the park on location. That's my,
Before,
I second.
sorry.
before we vote on it, let's talk a little about a request on funding. Does the board want to consider funding, or ask them to bring back a proposal with an estimate amount?
It'd be
and a
nice
request?
to have a closer, like an actual amount or closer
Fully
to.
commit to any funding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's no problem. We had, yeah, no problem.
So we don't need a motion for that, so I think we can stay with the motion.
But does that
And
need
we
to go to
have-
Mike Maples or to you with regard to?
I think just work with Mike Maples.
Mhm.
Okay.
He'll
And
bring
I,
it to us.
and we have made monies available for baseball and disc golf, and people that come forward and ask for that, and I think that's very reasonable, and I know that there's probably also a little bit of money in the maintenance fund for the field, so outside of city funds.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second on the motion?
I'll second.
You seconded it? Sarah did already?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Opposed?
great.
Thanks.
Motion approved, thank you.
Thanks,
Good luck.
everyone.
Thank you.
I know you guys have talked about it for a couple of years, so I'm glad it.
Yeah.
Okay, next on the agenda is the update from the Red Lodge Tennis Court Committee, Barb and Lindsay. Mary, did you receive that link for the
I
email?
do, I was trying to start up a second machine to share, but I will do it from here instead.
Get out of the way
For your
Do
movie?
you want to talk before I do the video, or am I
Yeah.
pulling up the video first?
Either way.
First?
Cool.
Video first.
Give
Video
me a
first?
second
Sure.
to get there.
The girls are pretty cute, so good way to start a spot.
Hold on, let me pause it. And let me make this full screen. And then let me go share my screen for the.
So this video was created, through the foundation by Skylar Allen, who's super talented and helped us out in many ways. But, he took an afternoon and shot a whole bunch of clips and put this magic together, and I think it turned out awesome. So this is just one of many to come, but this is definitely, really special.
Lindsay and Skylar, a student?
Skylar is actually employed by the foundation.
Okay.
Give me a second.
You're getting quite a stir.
You're
building it.
I know, drum
It
roll.
is really good,
Buy
you
some
guys.
popcorn, buy some soda.
I think
I
it's
bet
only, it is.
I'll start over and just do it.
There we go.
Oh, there it is, now
There
it
we
came up there.
All right, dim the lights.
Very good.
All right, drum roll.
Thank
I don't
you.
like any videos in this room anymore.
I'm Chloe, and I'm Ray.
Yeah, that's
We're
right.
part of the ROHS tennis team. We're a team full of a bunch of girls who come together and get to play a sport that we love, which is tennis. I'm most excited for the new tennis complex because by adding a fourth court, we get to not only grow our program, but get to host other teams as well, and growing the culture and community as a whole from ages young to a little bit older.
The 4 new tennis courts are going to be an amazing addition to our community. We're also going to be able to add tournaments and matches, which brings families, teams from all over the state here at Red Lodge.
We're finding that the community is really behind us on the project that we're foreseeing. The city has been wonderful to work with and has provided a piece of land that we've had tested and secured so that we know that we can build something that's going to last a really long time, that's going to be built to the highest level we can. It's just really exciting to know that we're part of something that's just going to increase in pride and excitement, and we're going to make it shine, because we're going to be out there, and our girls are really fun, and we have a great time. The community support has been amazing for it. It has brought the community together, and it has been really fun to watch it grow and to be a part of this entire experience, and just really thankful to Red Lodge and the community and everything that they have given us so far in our ability to be able to provide an amazing experience for families for generations to come.
I think one of the nice things about the new proposed tennis courts will be expanding tennis to so many new people in and around Red Lodge. A lot of folks come here, our tennis courts are nice enough, but new courts would be amazing, and it would really help us grow the sport of tennis, introduce that many new people to it.
The new tennis facility would be great. We get to host, it's one of our only sports that doesn't have a home court. So having their home court and having something to call their own would be great. Obviously, logistically, we travel a lot. We have a lot of activities currently in the spring, so being able to host more activities at home helps alleviate those problems with transportation and all those logistics.
So we've had the opportunity to pursue a number of grants, and we've also asked the city for support. Well, not only is the city providing the property for us to put this facility on, but also we're hopeful to receive resort tax funds, which are coming into the community and used for all sorts of infrastructure and also recreation opportunities. So that, combined with some other grants, have us off to a great start. We have over half the funding that we need, but that doesn't mean we're quite there yet. And so what is gonna be about an $800,000 project, and that is an asset in the community of that value, we still need to raise a little bit of money. You can donate as a community member or supporter of tennis by going to the Red Lodge Area Community Foundation website, and you will find a page that you can donate there, or you can drop the check off at the foundation. And your support will be greatly appreciated and used to match the generous grants that we're still pursuing and some of which we already have.
Yay!
That's awesome. Good job.
So exciting.
Good job, y'all.
Yeah, he did a fabulous job. So
Wow.
we've been using this a little bit. We just came out a week or so ago, maybe a few weeks ago, but we've got a lot of really great feedback and are going to use it to help raise funds to build this complex. So I think Barb's got some really exciting updates. We're moving forward fast and meeting regularly. Some other things we talked about. Do you want to go for this?
No, hang on for a second.
Okay.
So I know Roger forwarded out this, but I apologize because apparently when it's Google Doc, I have to give permission for you to open it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I couldn't
So
get it.
not everybody saw it, so
Yeah.
I have just a couple if you didn't see.
I take one, Barb. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was able to open it from
Electronically, we can get it added to like the minutes and stuff online.
Okay.
Yeah,
that'd be
somebody
great.
sent me a folder, like posted to the parks folder, and said, we don't have a parks folder. So,
Oh, yeah. So it just, I mean, you guys have pretty much heard this before, and I'm not gonna read through it for you, but, we're, in the video, we said an $800,000 project. Mike Maples thought we should add a little more for contingency, so now we're up to about $850. Which,
Yeah.
yeah, we wanna know if it may go that high, we wanna know that. So, we have, $150,000 from the USTA that's gonna come through, $150,000 from Land and Water Conservation Fund. We've asked the Resort Tax Committee to put us in their budget. They have us in there now for $200,000. That could change. They could change it, and of course, the council has to approve that. So that is not our money yet, but we're hopeful to have at least some from that source. And then we're raising the rest, locally and other grants that we're pursuing.
So the USTA is confirmed, or when will you know on that?
As soon as we have the specs and a little bit further along in the engineering, yeah, we have a letter pretty much guaranteeing it from them. So, yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have a simple little spreadsheet, that I was asked to do when we were developing soccer that just kind of outlined where you thought the money was going to come from, so you could,
Uh-huh.
if you have that, that
We
would be
did
great
do
to
that for the
share.
Land and Water Conservation Fund
Okay.
application.
Yeah.
So,
Would you like?
Yeah, if you could forward that
okay,
to Roger and.
yeah,
You could just add everybody on the
okay.
email.
Let's see. So, what are we doing now to keep moving this forward?
Yeah.
We have a goal of constructing next summer, late next summer. It's ambitious.
2026, this summer.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this
Okay.
summer. Yep, this summer. And so it'll be ready for the high school team's season a year from this spring. I'd get here soon. So we're continuing our fundraising. We have a draft request for proposals that we're gonna put out to bid. And, we've gone over it. Mike Maples has had it for a couple of weeks. He says he'll have his comments to us by tomorrow or Friday of this week. We're gonna put that out. We've had a tremendous amount of interest from engineering firms. We notified a number that we knew of that would be interested, that it would be coming out, and we've heard back from all of them so far saying, yes, please, we want to bid on this. I don't know, I was waiting to hear from Kelly if Great West is in that mix or not.
I don't know, but besides the project is, we will have to, from a city standpoint, we will have to put it out for an RFP. That doesn't preclude you guys from sending invitations to anybody, but if there's city money involved and it's on city property, we
Okay.
just have a process we have to follow.
Okay,
So
well, Mike is all looped
Yeah.
in, so I
Yeah.
guess we'll
we'll be doing
we'll
that,
check back
but
with
we
you.
just to make a note that,
Good, okay,
that, yeah,
Yep.
that will be city
okay,
initiated when we get to that RFP stage.
Barb, could you speak to the, is it geotechnical report that you got?
Yes, so that's being provided to everyone that will be submitting a bid. And so they'll come back with how they're gonna address those issues that are identified in that report.
Okay.
We're not engineers. We're not
Right,
gonna do
I
it.
did read through it, and.
Yeah, so the way I envision this, and because we don't have a final approval from the council yet, but oh man, this is the perfect site.
Totally.
We're excited, the girls are excited.
And the proximity to the high school is helpful. I mean, you heard Adam
Yeah.
talk about transportation and getting to the locations, and school spirit's huge, and it's really great.
So what I heard though is RFP won't go out from you guys, it will go out from the city.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's new, that's news to me,
Me
but
too.
that's not a problem.
No, I said, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Anyway, so how
Do
we
you
have
have
this,
an RFP that we should be using, or?
They have a template?
no, Maples told us to go
Yeah,
find one,
okay.
we did.
Because we,
Okay.
Yeah, we're working real closely with Mike on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Michael guides you right with that.
Yeah, yeah. So the way I envision this unfolding is, because we don't have final approval from the council still for the, using this location, is that we want to come back to you. We're going to go ahead and go out for some site design with an engineer addressing the issue you just raised. Come back to you guys, probably come back to the land use committee, and then back to the council at the point that we're told it's appropriate to make sure we get that final stamp of approval, because we don't want to spend any more than we have to if something goes wrong, which we don't anticipate. The geotech was the biggest concern,
Right.
biggest concern, so.
When do you expect that would happen?
What will happen?
When you come back through the rounds?
Well, we'll keep coming back to you just to update you, but I think we're hopeful to award in March.
That's what I'm asking.
And then we're hopeful that they'll start right away. That's why we started notifying them that here's what's coming. We're gonna act
are
as
you
quickly.
available, are you interested?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
start thinking about, the other big concern to us is some of these contractors
Yeah.
are gonna donate their time or their money back to us, and that's important to know, because it is.
Materials.
Yep, all those.
Yeah, so our RFP that's drafted so far, we have also to design the disc golf hole on that piece, and also address the landscaping that has been a concern of you guys. And, what else? Oh, to tell them if they're gonna use any local contractors, like for dirt work or anything else, we'd like to encourage that, and they probably get more points for doing that kind of thing. So we're trying to build in something that's friendly to the community, gets the job done to the specs, which we have to do to get our reimbursement from USTA. And, so we feel like we're on track, it's still moving forward.
It's moving forward in a great way. We're super excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the location and the progress that we've made so far, so.
Yeah.
Just
So
making sure
what
we
is,
get all the information.
in hearing VR talk about, so all of our current activities at coal miners happen during daylight?
Yep.
How,
We don't have lights.
and you're not planning to
Nope.
add that? Okay.
Nope.
You know, when we play, it's light out, you know, it's spring
It's
and
spring.
summer, when the
Right.
light is so,
Yeah.
the light's so late, so there's really, in my mind, no need for that.
Okay,
Mhm.
so that wasn't in the plan, and that's just nice.
I talked to BR over a year ago about her, and they said they weren't concerned at all. So hopefully we're not bothering animals. We can be a little loud,
We
but
have a
it is
pretty-
during the day.
Well, we have a pretty far distance.
We do, yeah, we're not right there.
Yeah, you're
The
the farthest
tennis hearing
of all
is
the.
very limited.
Yeah, right.
Well, and it sounds like, the information that BR has received, that the daytime noise
Right.
Is
really isn't a
okay,
big problem,
right,
more than
Yeah.
nocturnal.
yeah. So I guess it's just, do you need anything else from us? What would that be? We're committing to continuing comeback.
Clarification.
Yeah.
I think when Lindsay was here in December, she said we're entering phase 2. Is what you just described phase 2?
Yes.
Or is there something else about phase 2 we should know? And when will phase 2 become phase 3?
No, phase 1 was field school.
No, but Lindsay said you're in phase 2. So is what the fundraising and all that, is
Yeah.
that the phase 2?
The whole thing
The
is
whole
phase 2.
project's in phase
That
one.
whole, the tennis courts are phase 2.
Yeah.
The whole
Oh,
project.
Field School Park was phase one.
Mine.
Yeah,
Field
physical part
Field
was
Park
phase
is
1.
phase
Okay.
1.
We're all in, we're going through one phase.
I thought when they started construction,
Yeah.
it was phase 3.
I think that
During
Frank talked
2A.
about
I'm
it.
phases, phase
Yeah.
1 and 2.
So what, if anything, do you need from us?
So when do you think we'll be able to see your plans?
We have to award the
April?
contract to get the engineers started
Yeah.
working, so it's gonna be spring.
Okay.
It's gonna be April or May,
Yeah.
probably.
I mean,
Yeah.
our brochure kind of shows a quick mock-up,
Mhm.
of an idea, but I think ultimately we have to leave it to the contractors. And also, in my mind, we're gonna rely on the USTA, United States Tennis Association, to really help guide us. I mean, they build hundreds of tennis courts regularly.
Okay.
And so, you know, I've never built one before, but they have, so having their expertise is really
Mhm.
important to me. So we're gonna work with them on that, as well.
They have free services to help us with contractors, but they don't, you know, do any of the work.
Right.
Yeah, but some of these contractors have very deep experience in building tennis courts.
Well, and
That's
Mike,
great.
oversaw the building of 4 tennis courts up at Shoto,
Mhm.
I believe.
Yeah.
Good.
Which is nice to have a public works
Right.
person that went through this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Any other questions from the board?
Nope.
One thing I was gonna bring up to you guys is
Oh, yeah.
with the video, with the social media we're doing to build excitement, to help raise awareness and educate the public, but also raise funds, is a sign and potentially putting it out at the location at Coal Miners Park. And so we've come up with a couple different designs, and our board landed on one of these. So it would be like a potentially coming soon, or this site is being considered. Go to this site for more information
Yeah.
on how to donate to make this an actual reality.
So maybe in the.
Mayor, you have a comment regarding the sign?
Yeah, I would have two. First off is that there is a, that, again, talk to Brian Hanna
Mhm.
regarding what the sign rules are. The second concern that I would have, and then I think we can move forward with this quickly, but given that, and you already alluded to, you know, we've got the council approval to dive forward and move in.
Yeah.
That's absent the council approval. I would go to council and say, do we have your blessing to put a sign up?
Okay.
So that it doesn't give that false, we've all seen what happens when somebody thinks, oh, it's a done deal, when
Yeah.
the reality is, we're just starting the conversation. This is a little farther in than starting the conversation. This has already been going on for a year plus.
Yeah.
But I would probably put together, a resolution or an MOU that basically says, we're doing this, we anticipate this is gonna go well, we'd like council's blessing / permission to put this sign up on city land to help encourage fundraising. And then,
And
as soon as,
education.
It can be a
Yeah.
half a page
and then,
resolution, Barb.
and again, the deadline for that is really the Thursday before the second and fourth Tuesday.
Okay.
Mhm.
Government uses really weird math calculations, sorry, but our meetings are the second and fourth Tuesday, so we would want to have it on Thursday. The process would be, it would be in the council discussion, at least once, so it would go to the standing committee and council discussion. That also gives the public a full 2 weeks after it's been heard and out there, and then it would be 2 weeks later before they would approve that. So that would be
Approve the
kind of,
sign.
yeah, before that, so once you have your resolution ready,
Mhm.
there will be 2 council cycles at a minimum before they approve that.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been through it once before, and we're watching them do it too, so, yeah, okay. Well, we don't think we need to have it up in the middle of the winter, so that gives us
No,
lots of time to
but
come
it,
back.
yeah, but it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt to go, I don't think it's a controversial thing.
Yeah.
I also think it's a stake of support.
Yeah.
Every stake, everything along that, yeah, we're good with that, we're good with that, we're
Yeah.
good with that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get me 99% there and then say no, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I hope not.
Yeah, so.
But I also think with the location where it's at, it's highly visible, especially during the school
Yep.
season. So
Yeah, benefit to be there
we'll
during
get
the
on
school
it.
year, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any other questions about the court?
I like the one with the tennis ball.
Oh, this is the whole
Yeah.
sign.
Oh, okay. This is one side. I think there's only one.
The other two got voted, but we had to, and
Oh, okay.
this one was the beauty,
Yeah.
so.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you like it.
And
All
it's
right,
part of
thank you, guys.
phase 2.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Yep,
All right,
thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along here, good pace. The next item we have is park signage, and this came up at the last meeting. We tabled it because of other discussions that were going on. I think this stems back from our little goal-setting session we talked about. I think one of the goals was to develop a comprehensive signage program for our parks. We really haven't taken any action since that. I can leave that open for discussion, but I guess what I would suggest is that maybe we have one or two individuals from the board volunteer to meet with Mike Maples.
Breakout, like a breakout committee.
Yeah, a little committee, a little subcommittee, meet with Mike Maples and kind of talk about a comprehensive signage program, park signage program, that, you know, the need for it, the advantage of it, and what kind of signage that he would envision as well. So I'll leave that open for discussion. Anybody have any comments they'd like to make? Ann?
No, I don't. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
Roger, are we talking about, I thought we were gonna talk about specific spots that need signage, and you're talking about more of like a overarching design policy for signage?
Well, I think it's both, actually.
Both.
Yeah, I think it's actually both.
Like maybe
Some of our
get
parks
filled
have
in.
signs.
Yeah,
We don't have a lot of consistency in our signage.
right.
So part of the question would be, for instance, I think both Rotary Park and Finn Park have boulders that are engraved with the park name on them.
Okay.
You know, would we want to keep those if we had a comprehensive plan, or would we
Yeah.
want to have
I think the
a
unique
standard
sign
sign
should
and
stay,
an
but there
existing
should
sign?
also be a standard sign.
Yeah,
Are you looking for volunteers?
yeah,
I would volunteer.
okay. How about another one? Get another volunteer?
do it.
Rod?
Sure.
Okay.
Cool.
All right,
Oh,
okay,
awesome.
you're appointed. Thank you.
So obviously, certain parks, I mean, I guess I would recommend, Sarah, certain parks are gonna have maybe a little hold on them. Obviously, Coal Miners has a sign over there by the stairs that's no longer, I think, Tom, you did that back when, I don't know, was it 6 years ago? And it was an awesome sign. It was one of the best for the park, but now it's changed. Like your golf locations, Shelley Field's been added, tennis is going in. So there's places that you say, okay, here's what the sign will need to include, but maybe it gets delayed a little bit. And maybe you say, hey, we can throw one up at Van Dyke Park. We can put one in places that need them.
You're talking about this development proposed for a park, delaying that a little bit until the developments are finished?
Yeah, I don't
Or-
think doing signs and then doing them again in a year is
Well, I think
economical.
that's part of the discussion too, is do you want the elements of the park included in the sign? You know, the features of the park, or do you just want a park that says
Well,
Coal Miners Memorial Park?
Coal
Got
Miners
it.
is big enough that it needs breakout, I think. It's got a lot of things going on there.
Well, I think that should be part of the discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
I would
Melissa?
just say part of the discussion should be how the individual user groups inside the park identify their own signage too, because, I mean, we're one of the big ones, and that's a question, that each hole needs to have a sign at it to give a little direction. It's gonna be on the post, just a small sign, but I think it would be wise to talk about how do we incorporate that into, you know, like the pump track and what they've got going, and each of the activities, so that it's just representative across the board, and any courtesy around rules and those kinds of things, I think be good to have it be uniform, and for you to give us guidance on what's acceptable, not to do the design work, that's our responsibility, and to pay for it, but specific to the activities, we should have some guidance so we know what to expect.
Okay.
And we can show you samples of what we've got going, like it would be. And then in that note, I would just ask, for those of us that want to solicit sponsorship for some of our activities, how do we acknowledge sponsors appropriately? Down at the baseball diamonds, the signs are still hanging down there from last year's stuff, which is great. I know who their sponsors are, but there's gotta be a way for us to, like, we wanna have it, to be able to identify a business as, you know, Red Lodge Ales is a sponsor of the disc golf, like, chose to sponsor a disc golf pool, right? So how do I, within the confines of city rules, acknowledge them? Is it just a plaque?
Yeah, and-
Can I include it?
Well, you should be on the committee. But the other thing is, I know that,
Include me, Yeah, happy.
I know that the city in the past
Already wrote it
has
down.
been very sensitive to any permanent signage that brings in business names. So putting up something temporary on the fence that says, hey, during baseball, they have banners. But I know that we were told implicitly that there would be no naming the soccer field after a business. Okay, it couldn't be IGA soccer field.
What about Red Lodge Yale Soccer Field?
So, yeah.
I'll second.
Mr. Chairman, I would, so the signs and the rules and regs that people are talking about are actually part of our zoning regulations. And planning board is actually going through zoning regulations right now. I think what would be helpful, and ultimately council's gonna sign off on that too, but I think part of this, because when you started this, I was thinking, in my mind, and I'm trying to think it was a conversation, we were doing kind of we've got our wayfinding signs that are out there. And to me, the question was gonna be, is it gonna be the name of the park and the address that we got assigned to it, or is it just be the name of the park? But as I'm listening to the conversations about the uniqueness of parks and stuff, it sounds to me like what your subcommittee ought to be doing is coming together with some recommendations that you'd like to pass on to the planning board about their thoughts. And what I will do is make sure that it's on the planning board's radar. This is something we have to address when we're talking about signs. How do we address it when it comes to our public lands? Planning board is gonna put together something and come with it.
Yeah.
But I think letting both of those, council and planning board, know that it's coming, I think is wise. But like, that to me it's ultimately, those are the two governing bodies. So that's ultimately where it's gonna be. But I think there's a lot of good discussion on what is the right answer, because I know we have, temporary signage, and when I heard sponsorships and this, I'm kind of going, because I know there's some things we can and can't do. And there's ways to make, the city's always trying to figure out how to make things work, but rules are rules, and they're still there for a reason. So
Yeah, and Melissa, it might be that there could be like Bricks or Rust done somewhere, like in part of your throwing pad or something. I know we talked about it with soccer at one point.
There's lots of examples. If it
Yeah.
needs to be temporary, I can put a plastic sleeve on the sign, and then I can change out the sponsor every year, part of the complication. of
or it could be
sign.
vinyl, and it comes down when it's not baseball season, to your example.
Right, and it's about being appropriate, thankful to the sponsor.
Yep, yep.
And that's, I think, currently, it's like, I want to say it's 30 days, it might be 90 days, but I think that's one of those things that covers what a temporary sign is.
Well, we've got at least three categories of signs here I think we're talking about. There is the sign that tells you this is the destination, you're at this park.
Yeah.
You're at Coal Miners Park.
And I think there's some wisdom in having that be the same.
This address. And within that, do we need signs for the individual features of the park? That's another question. Do we need
Well,
that
we
or
don't
not?
have really any parks that have individual features except Coal Miners. I
Right.
think Coal Miners is a very
No,
unique.
not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, Lions Park has a couple features there.
Oh.
Well,
on the ones that
We can start by putting together a little scope
Yeah.
of the subcommittee or the project.
Sure.
too, and what it's addressing.
And, and then the other one I think that Melissa brought up is sponsors, and do we want to include that in this discussion?
Yeah.
Guidance around it, so then
Yeah.
everyone's clear.
So,
So I have a question, maybe Ann, maybe 2 years ago, our board was pretty hot and heavy to get Fish, Wildlife, and Parks in to recommend bear signage.
Just wrote that down, but.
And then we were told that it really was more of a citywide effort that needed to happen, that because of things that have happened in other communities, that there would be signs at the entrances of town, kind of like when you drive up West Fork Road and you start to see a lot of bear aware signs. The bear specialist for Fish FWP was was very much wanting to work with the city on making sure that we had a few of those, and especially in some of the parks where we do have bear sightings. Where does that stand? I think it was What
We,
group?
we do have a bear committee now specifically that they are part of and working. If you've driven in or out of town on the north or the south end, you will see that we have 4 8-by-12-foot signs that are up about trash management. They're not specific to parks, which I think is a good idea. But I think that's where that would take up, because they're involved in that. And then the question is just, where's the money?
So they were working on a redesign. I thought it was FWP provided signs that, you know, they're not massive billboards. They're like this, and they would be placed in a few different locations. And, you know, so
I think between
perfect
me and the
example.
co-chair of that
Okay.
committee, we can remember to bring that up with those guys. Yes?
I am the co-chair.
Yes.
You are now.
Yes.
She knew that. She's being funny.
No, that's a great idea for the mural.
Yeah, I think, but in fairness, our focus thus far has been on trash, and I think particularly their signs in parks is a good, is a good add, and particularly knowing that they have already come and brought that forward previously.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't even just bear, it was wildlife. I mean, I'm pretty sure I saved a woman's life this year that was from Britain and was about 3 feet from a moose. And she was like, "You have your own moose here?" Like they were Red Lodge moose, and they were like mascots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So we have 2 volunteers, Sarah and Rod, to work with Mike. All right, thank you.
Yes, you had no
Okay.
idea.
Give me
Oh,
one
my gosh.
We are at Park Ambassador reporting. I want to mention that Mike Maples called me and contacted me, told me we'd be able to make the meeting tonight. But it reminded me that somehow you and I forgot to put parks projects and budget updates on the agenda. That's
Well, he probably liked the night off.
Well, he did get the night off. He has a night off anyway. So we're at Parks Ambassador reports. And
It's a future standing agenda item.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, just like the budget would have been.
Yep.
Okay, so I've been remiss and I promised to update our table that has who the ambassador people are, their contacts, info, and get this out to everyone, and I'm happy to work with you guys on it. There's opportunities to change user group contacts and responsibilities, but there's also a column that we have where you can throw in city maintenance issues with each of the parks. And I think we were kind of heavy on parks reporting 2 to 3 years ago, and then we've gotten away from it. And, I mean, we report, but we haven't been documenting as much. That's right. I'll take ownership for some of that. And,
It is recorded, so.
yeah, but the table I didn't update, and I remember we were having formatting issues.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I have a clean one that will work now.
And I remember you having timing issues on how long it was taking too. I think it almost makes sense to have everybody give their updates prior to the meeting and hand out a chart. That forces everybody to do it in advance, and then people can ask questions about the ones they have questions about. And if not, it's part of the documentation that everybody can see.
I feel like we were, most recently we were on track, like just a couple minutes that people were chatting.
Oh, yeah, no, reporting, but
Yeah.
documenting, like
It was
actually
taking a lot of time to document.
cleaning up, well,
Cleaning up
I
the
wasn't,
chart.
I wasn't making the notes and then
I wasn't
giving
sure
you
what,
something.
okay, that's what Mayor was talking about.
Well, and I
That
was
taking
just,
a long
I
time, or
remember
are
a
you
couple of meetings that they were taking longer and longer and
Oh.
longer, and we were getting through a small portion of it and saying, okay, we'll pick up where we left off next time. And I was like, well, that's not working. Something needs to improve.
Well, we need to make our comments pretty concise too.
And not every park needs an update, like,
Yeah, so if
obviously,
nothing
we've been
report-
working pretty heavily on some parks that need our attention, and, like, we're not having to do much with other ones, and that's how it should go. I do think that probably in 2026 would be a really good idea for everybody to have access to the shared, and I'm not sure that the way I set up the 2026 Google Drive, but there is a link that we can include, and I might need some help, some tech-savvy help, so that everybody, like I go back to Madeline's email that she sent me, and when I ask her what she used to do, she goes, I went to the email that someone gave me years ago. And you click on the link, and it takes you to Google Docs, and you can go in there and look at everything that I put in there. And so you could have, we get this uploaded, and it's interactive, and then people can put in a comment. And it would update for you, and it would save you a lot of work. Maybe, Sarah, you'll be a little bit better Google Drive savvy than I was. So that's my recommendation. And then I would encourage everyone to be friendly with it.
Something to work on. So let's start.
You probably already are.
Mary Jo, would you like to start? Do you have any reports for your parks?
I have a question. I thought I read somewhere that once the trail system was done around the airport and down into town, that it became the responsibility of the city to maintain. Is that true?
What are you talking about? Airport trail?
Airport loop?
Yeah, the trail.
Well, it's a city trail that, Beartooth Trail
Yeah, BTA
has.
It's city
managing that.
I mean,
Yeah.
who maintains it? That's my question.
So the loop up top, Beartooth Trails is maintained, but we've gotten some help from the city on the McGillen, where it kind of branches off from McGillen.
Right,
Those two kind of lump together. I think, in fact, they're together on our sheet.
I guess my question, it relates to the ruts in the trail in Van Dyke that have been there for 2 years now or more. And no one seems to be, I wondered maybe if BT could smooth those out. I don't know what it would take.
How bad are they?
Well,
I mean, are they like
after
car
2
wheel
years-
deep?
Well, they were.
And they're rock hard?
They puddle when it rains
Yeah,
or snows.
so that probably needs to be graded to some degree
I
then.
think Maple said he was gonna work on
Yeah.
it.
My recollection is when he talked to them, is that the state that they are is a natural byproduct that will always exist because they're always working on those power lines.
Yeah.
My recollection, and again, it doesn't mean it can't be brought again, but my recollection is, the comment was, we beat this dead horse.
Thanks, you guys.
Now,
Talking
having
along
said
the
that,
ditch.
if Beartooth Trails
Yeah.
wants to come out and do something more to that, I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah.
But I think it's a matter of the power company with Mike's backing saying, here's the level of appropriateness that we worry about.
Yep.
We're not
And-
talking about the two-track that they made in there. We're talking
Yeah.
about the built trail.
No, you're
It
talking about
runs
the two.
across-
I think she's talking
No,
about the two-track.
no, she's not.
Well, what are you talking about?
It runs across the belt trail. So it was wet when they were working up there, and they completely rutted it out.
But she's talking about the trail that goes along the road. Okay, various places along the east-west part of the loop.
Well, it's the
Is
north
rutted.
end of the loop.
Okay.
They made a cut in the fence, which is still open. We were up there after it snowed, and there were tire tracks on the path. Somebody had been driving in there, not just on this utility road, but on the path. And then, it's just, it just looks uncared for.
Yeah, so most of that work, I mean, it was having such a weird winter, we wouldn't be seeing that right now. It'd be under snow normally.
Well, yeah.
So, well, at least from the Beartooth Trails perspective, is they don't really, they go into in-town
Okay.
trail maintenance in the spring.
Yeah.
That's when we usually turn on sometime in May, or, even a little bit earlier than that if it gets really nice. And I'm sure they'd be happy to work on that, and if it's really bad, then we'll just work with Mike, because the McGillen Trail has already got some washout spots that need to be addressed again, even though we just graded that again.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine we could probably put those together. Yeah, where is it specifically?
If you talk to Mike, he was gonna put a gate across there.
He was, and
Yeah.
my suggestion now is
And-
just put a chain across
Well, have
the
you
opening.
been up there lately? Because I talked to Mike today, and he said they got the fence back up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he called me today and we talked about
So
it.
no gate.
No gate. And I
Okay.
think when
Yeah.
he said they're removing a post, and so that Northwest Energy can drive through the main entrance on the trail to get in. I guess my concern is if you don't have that post there, that can allow other people to drive in as well too. Something we may want to follow up with Mike.
Okay.
But he said they have put the gate back up, or the fence back up. Yes.
Well, I don't think it's a dead horse, Mayor, sorry.
Mr. Chair, my recommendation would maybe be if Luke,
Yeah,
and particularly since he's part of Beartooth Trails, if he could go out, with Mary Dale and look at it and find out, because I think that refreshes, that clarifies the conversation and brings an additional set of eyes who's responsible for those trails in there. I think that gives us a little bit different voice to make sure it's the same thing, and then you can see if your words have a different impact or a different course of action there.
Yeah, why don't we talk after the meeting, we can see about,
Okay.
so we're totally clear, and I'll take it to the next meeting.
All right. One other thing is the trees that were planted at the observatory, need water.
Yeah, Mike and I
They
talked
have-
about
they
that,
have
too.
been.
And Public Works has been up there watering the trees. And he said they'll continue to water the trees as needed.
Okay. Maybe that was the Terratrex I saw.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been.
I don't know. Okay.
Anything else up there?
No, nope.
Okay.
No down trees or anything.
No down trees. Luke, do you have anything to report?
I know that we need signage for that airport loop where it crosses the road. And I think those signs probably need to be like highway grade.
And those are on Mike's list, and what I'll do is raise it, because right now with the lack of snow, I don't know if now's a good time of year, what condition the ground is, but I do know those are on his list to do the crossings at every place where the trail is, so.
Okay. And
So is
then,
that a city road?
That's the city road there on
Okay.
Airport Road.
Yeah, so that in my opinion, shouldn't wait because it's a safety issue. I mean, we have people popping up out of that trail and,
I just don't know if you can drill a hole in December in the dirt, is what I'm saying, but.
well, it's
I think
only
You can right
froze like
yeah.
2 days ago.
I just put a dog anchor in my backyard and just screwed it in by hand.
Oh, my gosh.
I will, because we had a conversation about revisiting the city with comprehensive, so I said, I've got the list outstanding, let's go through and revisit what's on that, so.
But I agree.
So that everybody knows, this city maintenance thing over here is where you would drop in like, hey, we still have this, because I know the discontinuity of the trail material up at Van Dyke is, I mean, we've been hounding some attention at Van Dyke for a long time.
It's a great
Luke,
park.
anything else?
Yeah,
Beautiful wildflowers.
the signs at the bottom, this is like old news, the signs at the top and bottom of the Gillen Trail are terrible.
Yeah,
They need to be
they're
ripped out and
Yeah.
probably replaced with the,
Yeah.
the current John Deere, which is just like on a vinyl.
Yeah.
So when it wears out again in 5 years, it's easy.
So is that a Beartooth?
Beartooth Trails, we built the last ones, with Tom, actually.
Tom Coley
Yeah,
did
but they're pretty exotic. They're like in a enclosed wood thing, and it just needs to go away.
Plexiglass.
You're saying the whole thing should be
It
replaced?
should just have a 4x4 post with some kind of vinyl easy sign on it that we can update and replace. That, we've discussed at Beartooth Trails, and that's basically what they'd like to. We're like, yep, let's just do it. Who knows who should pay for it or what should go on? Maybe we can wait till after the signage committee has a recommendation. We're just looking for some guidance before we just go out around.
They need to be replaced.
Yeah, they're really bad.
They're an embarrassment.
They are, yeah, the stuff on the
Yeah.
inside is slipped down, you can't even read it, and it's all, it just looks awful.
Faded and.
Yep.
Yeah.
And do we have anything for coal miners? Like, I feel like half these meetings are about coal miners, you know?
My only thing is, and obviously if we get a skidded storage unit up there, then that needs to happen first, but now that we're having a lot of stuff done up there, it would be nice if that 2-track that goes up on top is, fixed, kind of like a,
On the south end?
yeah, it's the way the
Going up
city
to the
can
berm?
drive up there. I
That
mean, we don't
part.
wanna make it so nice that everybody thinks they can drive up there, but we did talk about those, what do you call those, removable?
Removable
Yeah,
bollards.
yeah.
Or like I said, and then the chain across it, so.
Yeah, I mean,
No
because,
chains.
Like with the airport. you
Chains could be a
back
safety
up.
problem.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
a removable bollard would work.
yeah, and it just, so I think for the future, after some of this stuff happens, that road's It just rinses, coal down from the berm that the high school created. It's a little silty. Well, they did it. They created their own little.
Visitors to the soccer field use it?
You can't.
Drop off and then drive back.
Yep.
I think if you have handicapped people or grandparents, yeah. If they were to drop off there, yeah, absolutely. But it isn't meant to be a road.
What I'm hearing is, A, it needs to be improved. B, we have to figure out how we improve it without it becoming a public thoroughfare.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
No.
Does it have any signage right now that says like authorized vehicles only?
It does.
Okay.
It has one at the bottom, but,
Hmm.
no, I think,
People
Suzie,
don't
if that's
pay
what you're
attention
doing,
to
that's preferred. But I think able-willing people shouldn't be encouraged to drive up there.
No,
No.
and then, at least from a soccer perspective, they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
We do have
Anything else?
occasional.
Nothing else?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
For the mayor? Is there, I just want to know where are we at with the parking lot drainage long-term?
I
I don't know if I was here.
Great West is working on it. The EDA street project that we are doing the first part of next year, where you're gonna see like pavement and curb and gutters, a lot of that stuff, and then sidewalks on the trails that lead up to the high school. We have actually added, if you look at the aerial of that, anybody who's looking at there, you see there's a big P that goes in and kind of around that. So what the plan is and what the engineers are working on is, A, we're looking at paving that road.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of that process, they're changing that whole slope. Right now, I think the slope is about 6 inches across that entire field. And they've been doing small, subtle stuff that's been improving it the last year or two. But the goal is to change that grade so that it drains to the south where there is a storm drain and put it in the storm drain.
Okay.
So and then part of that is over at the, 2 years ago at the Nature Center, we had water wings for all the animals. And did they flood this year at all? Did you have any of that level of flooding in the Nature Center? I'm sorry, in the sanctuary?
We did not get flood, but we did raise our property too. So, there's two actions.
So the plan is to continue that, and right now, and that road, that P that goes up, is actually gonna have curb and gutter that redirects it to the south end as well.
Okay.
And I think Mike
Good news.
gave a similar report last month about the savings from the street project.
Yeah, it was-
We're waiting for the folks who are paying for it to sign off on it. I have not heard that that's final, but every indication and communication is that they like the idea and they are on board with it.
So if the idea moves forward, do you have any idea when that work would begin?
Yeah, that'll be this year. That'll be in spring. So,
Okay.
the goal is to make that be part of the road work that we are currently doing.
Good.
And then the secondary issue we have there is, once we get to grand construction timeframe, it's also grand visit the sanctuary timeframe. So we have to figure out how to coordinate that so that it has as little impact there as possible.
Good. All right. Rod, do you have any comments?
Field school, has there been any more discussion about the gazebo?
I have not heard any more discussion on that. I would think that would come here. That's where it ought to
Yeah,
come.
Mike
So they were talking about putting a gazebo basically between the playground that's right across the street.
Right.
And then, so you could basically watch kids play, or you could turn around and watch tennis or pickleball. Nobody has come further with, I think, so the city's in a supporting and helping role, but nobody's come forward with that proposal as.
Is there room there for a gazebo between that, you're talking
I don't
between
think
the,
so.
between the playground and the.
Yeah,
the
there
court?
is room basically, if it's like a row of seats with, it's not really a gazebo,
Yeah,
but it's
it was
a covered bench.
Covered bench.
It's like, it's a
nice.
gazebo that's 8
Okay.
feet deep, 20 feet wide.
I was imagining what you might
But to your point, I've heard the question raised. They came and talked to Mike, and the guidance that we gave them from a city perspective. Now, that's something that would need to go through the council process, because that's a permanent structure. But the guidance was, if you're gonna do it right, bring that proposal.
Yeah, because Jeff from Pickleball was saying that they have money.
And then that was part of the original story we heard, but I've not heard anything more beyond that, other than
Rod,
they
I
came
would
to us
ask
and we
him to get
said,
on the agenda and bring
Yeah.
a proposal and.
yeah, they need to come here and do what everybody else is doing.
Correct. Yep.
Rod, has the drainage been addressed in the, entrance area into the courts?
Mostly,
Has it?
yeah. I was wondering, since the courts look so great too, we've had vandalism over there in the skate park a lot.
And at those, or,
Yeah,
I know, I saw it at the skate park right after we refinished the skate park. It was down inside.
In the bottom, yeah. Is there any way that we could get a camera or something? What I'm thinking about in particular is that the tennis court, pickleball courts look amazing right now. But if you're getting people running around with spray cans, a camera somewhere over in there might be real nice.
Just hanging in a
Yeah,
tree at the
I agree.
daycare.
I think they have one.
Something.
No one will go.
The Children's Center had one that was on the skate park, and that went away for some reason. What was that? What did Mike say about that?
I'm wondering
wasn't
if
allowed, or-
there's some liabilities or what's there, but I can certainly ask about the skate park and the pickleball, and the
Yeah.
pickleball tennis courts.
No.
This doesn't work because this is a public meeting, but I'm assuming that the vandals aren't here. You can just put, you know, there's half the security cameras you see in the world are smoke bubbles with nothing behind them.
True.
And even that might be helpful,
It
so.
might.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the only thoughts I had.
Yeah, I think
Anything
it's,
else?
I will take that
Should be
as an
explored.
action item to
yeah,
look into
I
it.
agree. I know.
Sure, do you have anything to
Yeah.
report?
Nothing
Needs to be
exciting
locked
going on
up.
at Lions Park these days.
No, nothing at all.
Everyone knows, yeah, where.
Say what?
So. I said nothing exciting is going on at Lions Park these days. Boring.
I do
I was just
understand there was
kidding.
a park down behind Mountain Springs that Sarah wanted to be the sponsor
Yeah,
for, though.
that's what I heard too.
Yeah.
What?
Thorson Park?
Oh, no.
Thorson Park?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know that we were gonna rename it, she just wanted to be the sponsor.
Would it make a good sledding hill?
Yeah.
Would it make a good sledding hill?
I
Or
know.
something like that.
Yeah,
And if you guys.
It is called that.
Dog park or
It's,
anything?
there's a piggyback and I just.
weird.
You can't go to the dog park because it's so muddy. I mean, you can go,
Yeah.
but it stinks and your dog will stink, so it's just a big, huge mud pile.
Yeah.
Mud,
Yeah, it's way too many right
mud
now.
and poopy.
Well, I just have one.
Why is it poopy? Why is it?
Exactly,
People
Pat.
are so, that's so
Exactly.
rude.
Yeah.
That is so bad.
I just have one
The
item.
hottest
And to
button
make it
ticket.
easier for people to pick up, and it has improved, but when it's muddy, it's messy.
People start talking.
Mayor, I have one item on.
And they
Finn
think
Park.
when it snows,
Okay.
it
I
just goes
talked
away.
to Mike about
No,
it today,
it
but
blends right
there's a
in.
red-
I'm sorry, I only have one here, Mr. Chairman.
Hold on, folks, we're not done yet. I have an item on Finn Park, and Mike and I discussed it today, but there's a resident that lives adjacent to the park who's having issues with groundwater flooding.
Yep, I'm aware of it.
And, they've been running a pump and a hose out
Mm-hmm.
to, discharge the water out of the basement. It's an ongoing problem, it's been going on for a while, but it is causing a problem because the hose is just long enough that it's drained, a lot of that's draining into the park. And the problem is that they direct the hose the other way, it drains down the street. And then you get on that corner, that intersection.
And that's where you live.
That's where I live.
Well, there's the other problem,
There we go.
there is a neighboring house that it's getting to.
Yeah.
And that's when the city jumped in, is that you are not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I know that there are talks going on how they're going to solve that. My 2 cents is, from a public health and safety standpoint, I'd rather see it going into the park as a drain field
I
right
agree.
now than into residential.
Yes, Sarah.
I agree, yeah.
Hi.
And particularly in addition to going into the street, because then you get freezing and you get ice on that corner and that intersection. But it still needs to be addressed, and Mike says they're working towards a long-term solution, but it's gonna take some time. You know, and I think you're exactly right. It makes sense to have it drain into the turf area or the natural grass area there in the park. However, it does puddle and it can become, you know, a tourist insect, a mosquito breeding area. Plus, being unsightly
This
is just
time of
kind
year?
of a problem. Well, not this time of year, but it's happening all year long.
Could be
Oh.
this
It's
summer.
going on all year
Oh,
long.
wow. Yeah,
Crazy.
I know.
Yeah,
So,
Maybe-
you said you already talked to Mike.
Yeah, Mike and I
So what
talked.
addition, is
I wasn't.
this just an awareness for me, or is it an action
just,
item for me?
just an awareness for you,
Okay.
yeah.
Noted.
Yeah, Mike and I have already talked.
Okay.
Okay. I think we have completed the park ambassador reporting. Future agenda items, anything that anybody would like to add as a future agenda item for the
No.
next several meetings?
I heard there was gonna be a conversation on the gazebo to get on the
Okay.
future.
Anything about Rocky Fork? Does anybody want to have a?
I have an update on Rocky Fork.
Okay.
Well, let's wait till
Ooh.
No.
Okay, wait.
No, back to, after 7, it's not on the
Back to
agenda.
future, do you want to have soccer speak at the, would you like to pick a meeting, like February or March, where you come
Come back for
and
the
spend
Sunday.
5 minutes,
Maybe
just
with your-
being an MOU participant and, because I think that
How much
what
is it gonna cost?
Ann wanted was that every MOU
Come.
user group gets on a month, and if you want to pick the month you come, otherwise it might get assigned and you won't like the assignment.
If you have some shed
Yeah, right.
information, that'd be a good time to come.
Trying to think about this. Yeah,
That's right.
great.
Now, let's talk about Rocky Fork next.
Yes.
Because I think, MOUs need to be revisited, and if there's, like rusty spots in them that don't make sense, that would be a good time to bring those up, or
Where can I get a copy?
I asked you for the MOU last time. Oh, the original one?
Yeah.
I can get it to
You
you.
can come to the front desk and we'll give you what's on file.
So you're
It's,
gonna be on,
it's that one that you share
you're gonna
with,
be on the February meeting?
baseball.
I can be on that.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll get ahold of Jeff Wise, or Jeff.
And perhaps, pickleball will
For
come.
future agenda.
I'll get ahold of Jeff and see if he'll.
For pickleball?
Tell him so he can come submit his ideas for,
The covered bench.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other
Not a
items?
gazebo.
You mentioned the Rocky Fork
Next time.
next time. You know, I'd like to see that too, and I still would like to see some discussion or maybe, updating us on what exactly are the FEMA DEQ restrictions for the development of the park.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe what would we talk about as a timeline or a schedule for
Landscape.
looking at landscaping or at least designing, the improvements of the park and,
I see beautiful wildlife.
and maybe in addition to that, still an update on where we are with Eagles Nest. I just had this feeling we're gonna build an attractive park there that's gonna look like, it's gonna look like Palestine next to it, Maybe that's not.
Were they
good.
putting grass seed down today?
Today, the land part is officially reclaimed. They put down the topsoil and the grass seed, so that part is done.
Okay,
Now,
I was gonna say, save that for next meeting.
yes, sir.
Okay. All right, any other future agenda? items?
801. Well, you want to
What we
take
got for now.
You do have a citizen comment, but you have your vote, your table,
I'll shoot you a text.
that's on your agenda, but your table is sitting up at least.
Yeah,
Hey, everybody's revolting.
Mary Dell, we haven't,
Mary Dell,
adjourned yet,
we're not
and we
up
have
here.
comments.
I was trying to follow your request to do at the end. Hope Smith, I live at 517 North Hauser. I apologize to BR already, or BW, because I had sent a letter to you all earlier in December saying a great place to have the ice skating rink would be over there, and I don't think so anymore. I do think a temporary skating rink is a great idea. I visited my daughter in London over the holidays. There are large temporary rinks all over the city and around it, and they attract residents, they attract tourists, and I think it's a great idea. We've been in touch with Yellowstone Ice in Billings, who's done 3 covered ice skating rinks, but the figures that Red Lodge Ice says is that this rink would be 200 feet by 85 feet. In order to do the cooling coils and that sort of thing, it's actually going to have to be 220 feet by 115 feet. So we're talking even more of the park getting covered with concrete. And there's just so much I have to say. But anyway, one last thing is, a lot of the explanations for having it covered up is then it could be a basketball area in the summertime. I'm here to tell you, in an open winter, that basketball court we have there already now is getting used so much, and even in a regular winter, kids come and shovel it, and they use that basketball court all winter long. So I don't think we want to get rid of that basketball court and count on it just being there in the summertime. The last thing I'll say is, we keep hearing this has been in the works for years and years and years, and sure enough, I've gone back and it has been mentioned, but it's never been the number one priority for the Parks Board or the city. And just because it's listed as a project, I don't think it's inevitable that we have a concrete, permanent ice skating rink in the park. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd also like to take a moment, if I could, sorry. Becky Larson, I live on 415 North Hauser, literally right across the street from that park, and we love it. Full disclosure, I apologize, I have not been to these meetings. I was gone when all of this kind of started to get, literally start on fire. And so, I know that there's a lot that has already been said. However, I would like to say that I would very much appreciate it to know that you guys are doing an impact study for the neighborhood, that you guys are doing a sound and noise and light impact study based on the ordinances that are already with the city, that you're also doing a traffic study, because as it stands right now, Hauser has become quite the speed road, and it's going to get to be more as we put in that park, as we put in that cement, if that's what you're planning on doing. So I would like to know that there's some impact studies being done that you are sharing, especially with that neighborhood. This is an extremely sensitive situation for that particular neighborhood. We sit there, most of us have been there between 10 to 20 years looking at that park, loving that historical park. And so we'd like to know that we're being considered when things are going down and stuff is happening. And I'm sure you guys are working on these impact studies, and I appreciate it very much. I'm hoping that as we go forward, they're shared with all of us in the community so that we know what's going on, so we can, kind of have discussions and talk about it ourselves. So I appreciate what you guys do. I know this is a very serious situation, and I know that you guys are taking it seriously, and I appreciate that. It means that green space means a lot to us, and cities are constantly putting up concrete everywhere, and I'd like to think that we're the one city that says, stop, we're not going to put more concrete up there. Let's find different ways. There are different ways, and let me tell you before I stop, it is not that this neighborhood does not like the ice skating rink. We love the ice skating rink. So many times we're out there at our fire pit, listening to those hockey games going on, listening to those children play. I'm the girl that stands out in the front and yells at the kids to get off the ice if it's not frozen enough, because I know how important it is to have that ice looking good. So it's not that we don't want the ice skating rink. We just need to make it temporary so that the rest of us can enjoy it as a green space for the rest of the year. So I'll continue to continue to do, and honestly, as a neighborhood person, I will jump up and do any kind of work you guys need us to do to look at those impact studies and be a part of those and share them with the neighborhood. All you got to do is just reach out and let us know. Thanks.
Thank you.
Every contact comes with a free kitten.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, and I have a lot of those right now. Anybody else?
So Dave,
No?
Becky, one?
Yeah, one more.
Okay, one more.
So I presented to you guys, most of you were here a couple of weeks ago when I presented to you the idea of getting Lions Park and Pride Park on the historic register, National Register of Historic Places. So if you guys are interested in moving forward with that, I would ask you guys to consider that very seriously. It would not halt the development of these parks. You guys the city of Red Lodge would still be able to do what it is that they want to do with these parks, but I think it would be really great, if talking about signage, to have that Lions Park National Register, talk about Jeremiah Johnston taking off from the station there, and that's the last time he sees Red Lodge. We can talk about these different things that mean stuff to the community. So
that might make a good future agenda item.
That would be a great future agenda item. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I would like to say one thing. because I think that we're all reasonable people, and I think that a compromise or some sort of, working relationship needs to come out of this. We have estimated volunteer hours over the years, and Madeline, who was, the ambassador for Lions Park, the year before last, they had over 450 hours of volunteer time related to the ice rink.
Wow.
And so they, as an organization, are looking for ways to make a rink more efficient and work. I don't think that we will have ice and Red Lodge ice and hockey if they don't find some sort of alternative. And I feel that that includes alternatives to semi-permanent, seasonal, or moving somewhere else. But that's a lot of hours, and that's exhausting. And so that group, they need to be also acknowledged for the amount of time they put to have that activity that has been historical for 70 years there. And we all love it. And yes, there are weather constraints. This year is bad for everybody. Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And so I take in everything that everybody says, and I appreciate that. And I think that we are hearing you, and I'm hearing you anyway. And I think that that they are looking for a way to keep that program alive.
Yeah.
And so
And
maybe we can all
yeah.
help to come up with things that
Absolutely.
somehow, because they can't, small town organizations in this, with this many people, and you know, the top 10 people are doing more and more all the time, they will burn out and we won't have hockey. We won't have an ice rink.
Right.
And so I don't think we want that either.
No, and I don't want that for the record.
Yeah.
I mean, from a personal standpoint, I don't want that at all.
But they have more volunteer hours than any park that we have.
Well, and we've talked about joining Lions as well, just to help with the maintenance of the park, because we would love that. We would love, I've been a Lions before, so I think that would be great. You know, the only thing that we've done from the very beginning is try to suggest alternatives and come up with compromise. So,
absolutely.
So I think it would be a wonderful compromise for us to come together and to say, you know what, we are committed towards protecting these historic parks, and how can we, you know, build as a community, and how can we work together? So I love what you just said, because that's exactly what we need to do. We do need to work together.
Okay.
Yes, Ann. I'm just kidding.
I got ants in my pants as usual, but I think we need a mediator. I don't think.
You're talking about for this project?
I think we need a mediator. I think you're right. I think we're at a point where there's no one is going to be, it's just, we got to get together and talk. Both sides need to talk, and we need someone who can facilitate this, coalesce the ideas, and get us going, because this is going to be drawn out, and I have an idea for someone, but I'll talk about that.
Well, it's very divisive.
Yes, it's divisive, and we need to come to some healing, because there's a lot of hurt and anger, and I think a mediator would help the situation. I got 2 dogs I got to get out of my house.
All right, so, meeting adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Yeah, so I think,
What's my name?
oh yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Number.
so much. Then I can add it. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could do that.